Welcome to Quantum Revenue Expansion, where we share time-tested strategies to turn your annual revenue into your monthly revenue. Ready to up-level your business and your life? Then you will love listening in on the lively conversations Ursula has with her clients and guests as they share exactly what they did to grow and scale their business exponentially. Plus, you will discover how to experience more freedom, joy, and peace in your business and your life right now. If turning your annual income into your monthly income is your next step, then join us at the next 2X Intensive. Go to ursulainc.co/apply.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Quantum Revenue Expansion, the podcast. Super excited to have you with us today. I have a returning guest. He's going to be one of our world champions here pretty soon in terms of how many times we've had him on the show. We have Michael Tritthart back today. So Michael, hello, welcome back.
Morning. How are you?
I'm great. I'm awesome. How are you?
I am good. Like I mentioned before we started recording, I'm talking to you from our condo in Florida, so life could be worse.
Yeah,
right?
how does it get better than that? That's awesome. Well, thanks for coming back. I'm excited to have you here today. And for those of you who haven't heard Michael's first interview, we talked a lot about his business and his business growth and just his life as a coach in many different forms. And so definitely go back and listen to that because we really laid the foundation of SEO and Google. And today I asked Michael to come back because there's a lot of things happening with Google. And my clients have questions. I have questions. Trisha has questions on my team. We've just been, we've been working really, really hard behind the scenes on that. And he and his team member, Jeff, have been supporting us. But now things are shifting. So I have more questions and I wanted to have the conversation in front of all of you so you could get the benefit of that as well. So definitely have your pen and paper out. Before we get there though, quick housekeeping. Our next 2X Intensive is happening. It's always happening. We have one every other month. If you haven't been yet, and you're looking to 2X your revenue and shave 10 or more hours off your work week yet this year, then you definitely want to come and play with us. And listen, the world is weird. That's the word. Weird's the word, right? Because I don't want to put negative connotations, or I'll say it's interesting, right? The world is still interesting right now. What I don't want to happen for all of you is for you to get sidetracked or get pulled into a lot of the narratives and stories that are so negative out in the world right now. Like, do not let that be your world. Come and hang out places here, hang out with people like Michael, hang out in communities that are saying positive things, believing positive things. Because let me tell you something, recession or no recession, if it is a recession, more millionaires were made in the last recession than any other time. So know that, right? Know that if that happens, there's going to be opportunities for you there too. And if it doesn't happen, for sure, I mean, some people are arguing about whether it is or not, it doesn't matter. There's still more than enough opportunities around for every single one of you, and stay in that belief. And if you feel pulled to hang out at the 2X Intensive, you can go to ursulainc.co/apply, send us a few of your details, and we'll get everything over to you. And by being a podcast listener, and filling out that application and sending it to us, you get a very special package. So that includes the 2X Intensive and a lot of other goodies because you listen here. So definitely take advantage of that if you feel the pull. All right, so let's just dive in. So for those of you who haven't met Michael, he and I met through Master Networks, which is an incredible networking organization. And if you haven't learned about them, you can go back and listen to my interviews with Chaz Wilson, go to masternetworks.com. Michael is the head coach of Master Networks 5+1 Mastery Coaching Program. And he's been doing that since 2019. And I get to hang out there. I'm an assistant coach, which is so much fun. So I get to see Michael in action. Yep. He's been on the Master Networks leadership team as their director of coaching since 2020. He's an international technology instructor since 2001. He's a one thing instructor since 2016, and that's Keller Williams Speak. For those of you who might not know. Yep. And Keller Williams Realty International Master Faculty Member. He's certified by the states of Oklahoma and Texas to teach multiple continuing education courses. And his design team has enhanced over, check this out, 90,000 real estate websites and social media sites. Congratulations on that. I didn't know that number. And while Michael's background is in real estate, he is well versed in every business when it comes to SEO and Google. So absolutely. Let's do this, Mike. Let's just jump in. Give us the update. Like, I don't want to spend all the time there, but some things have shifted in the world of Google, and some people might be seeing some of those changes. What's happening?
Sure. So the biggest thing is it's a name change. That's first and foremost. So Google My Business has now become Google Business Profile. With that change, couple of the ways that you interact on your page and load information, that is changing. So the Google My Business app that they've had for years and years and years, they are doing away with that. And that is in July of 2022. So it's happening right now. And then the back office that a lot of people are accustomed to, which is google.com/business, that is going to stay if you manage multiple businesses. So for instance, I'm going to have access to that page because I have my page for my business. My son, who is also in college right now, he runs a summer business. That's a mobile car detail business. Shameless plug, jetcardetail.com. There you go. All right. And so I help to manage the social media for his page. I will have access to google.com/business for both of those pages. So if you have more than two business or more than one businesses in there, you're good. Nothing really changes. The biggest change is going to occur for those that have individual business pages. Starting this month, July 2022, for you to go in and access the page, all you do is you just go out to Google, make sure you're logged in, of course, to Google in the top right-hand corner, do a search for your business name. So in my case, it's Trit Inc. And then when that comes up, all of your edit options, things to change the pages, they're going to appear right there on Google. So there's no more log into a back office. They're trying in their thought process, they're trying to make it a little bit more seamless so where people don't have to worry about logins. It's just like, hey, let's go right to Google, make the change. You can also do the same thing by going out to maps.google.com. You'll be able to find your page, do a search for it on the map, and make those edit changes. If you are brand spanking new, like you don't have a page, you want to have a page, you're going to go out to maps.google.com. Top left-hand corner, there'll be a menu, just 3 horizontal lines. You click on it, and about halfway down that menu, it'll say add a business or place. You'll click on that and then just follow the prompt. So that's how you're going to create your new page in the new system.
Yeah, and for someone who might have just jumped in, real quick review.
Sure.
Why do we want to have our Google page claimed? Besides, it's free.
Absolutely. So number one, it is free, and about 40% of the business owners in the United States have set up their page, which is crazy to me. But I know a multitude of real estate agents in the real estate world over the last, I don't know, probably 10 years or so that have been training on Google, my business now called Google Business Profile, that have added easily an extra $100,000 to $200,000 a year over year to their bottom line. And it all comes from this free page. We both know somebody, Stephen Orifice, out of New York, that when he was working for a company, and I always kind of say this is the perfect storm of a business in trouble. He was in New York during COVID, the height of COVID restriction times, working for a window and door replacement company. So they got to get into your house with all of the restrictions in New York. You would think this would just be the recipe for disaster. They actually broke sales records because they were part of Master Networks. They were part of the mastery program. They were learning from Ursula. They were learning from me and others. But one of the elements of that was Google. And Stephen told me last year that they added over $450,000 to their bottom line just from this free page.
Wow.
And it's huge. And again, guys, it's free. You got to set it up, but more importantly, you got to feed it. And that's the biggest thing.
Yeah. Yes. Feed it by getting reviews, feed it by adding photos, feed it by reviewing other people's pages, being active. Outside of those three things, what am I missing?
Well, the reviews, that is the biggest by far. I always tell everybody, you got to get reviews, but more importantly, you got to respond to the reviews. Like you just mentioned, you have to interact with them. So when you do get a review, don't let it linger, right? Respond. And when you do respond, don't just go in and go, thanks. I mean, somebody's going to write you 2 or 3 paragraphs and you give them a 1-word response. You need to tell Google what you do, where you do it, how you do it. And you tell them about that in your response, right? So drop in some keywords and be very overly descriptive of the business transaction relationship that you had with the reviewer. The photographs, that's just as big. And I think we mentioned this last time, 150 equals 1,000, right? So a little bit of a review on that. If you add in 150 photographs, it will equal a 1,000% increase in consumer engagement. And I had one of my mastery members do that just a couple weeks ago, and then we were talking afterwards, and she was like, "That 150 thing, that's insane." I said, "Well, why? What do you mean by that?" She goes, "That's all I've done, and now my phone is just blowing up. My emails are just filling up." She goes, "That's nuts." And you can do the 150 in one big batch. It doesn't have to be like 10 at a time or 20. If you have 150 photographs of you or your business or the surroundings that you do your business in, you can dump 150 in there right now. And that really starts to switch the algorithm for Google.
That's
They
what we
start to
did.
see you as a player.
Yeah, and it wasn't as hard as we thought, because we all
No,
live in the time of iPhones. You have way more pictures than you think. And of course, like business photos, we had
yeah,
tons. It's easy.
yeah. Conferences, transactions, headshots, selfies of you. You know, I was kind of joking in class. I said, 150 photographs, and somebody in class goes, 150 selfies? Oh, I got that one covered. Doesn't always have to be you. It can be other aspects of your business as well too.
Okay. So I geek out on this because I love, like, that's one of the things we want to talk about here, are things, strategies that actually work, strategies that are
Yes.
time tested. What I love is that you're staying ahead of this. I'm really curious, what kind of business, the woman who just uploaded the 150, was she in a service-based business?
Service-based business. It was actually a carpet cleaner, carpet and tile cleaner.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah. So for everyone who's listening, like, these are simple things. I know whenever we've shared this with our clients, they've gone out and they've done it right away, because it's free and it's just waiting for you. We also installed, per you, the widget for our reviews.
Yes.
And that's just, I mean, it's really cool to see on our website. So
Yeah.
it's like attached to the website, and then it's a lot more automated. It's easier. So that was a great tip as well. So where do you want to go next, Michael? Like, for those of clients and listeners,
Sure.
who do want to up level their business with Google this year. I mean, we're in an interesting time, and this is a time when I feel like it's even more important to double down on the things that we could be doing that maybe we've put off. What would you suggest?
So there's one easy thing that I do, and I'm actually doing it right now while we're here in Florida this week on vacation at our condo. Anywhere I go that I like, I write reviews. Now, let me expand on that. So think of Google Business Profile as one side of the coin. That's your side of the coin. You want people to write reviews. You want people to see your photographs. You want people to engage with you. Flip that coin over. All the other businesses that you go to, they want the same thing. And as you just mentioned, we are in interesting times. These businesses need every little bit of help that they can get. And so if everyone goes out to Google and does a search for Google local guides, you can become a local guide. Now, everybody goes, wow, local guide with Google, there, probably some prereqs that I got to go through. You got to jump through some hoops. Basically, you go out to the page and it says, would you like to become a Google local guide? Yeah, click. Okay, congratulations, Ursula, you're a local guide. I mean, that's the qualification, right? And then from that point on, you go out and you take photographs and you write reviews, and you start at level 1. And when you go to level 1 and you write your first review, they're going to say, hey, congratulations, you're now level 2. And you go, oh, that was easy. And then you continue, you progress. I'm actually up to level 7. And by the end of this trip that we have here in Florida, I'm probably going to go to level 8. I've been at level 7 for over a year and a half, because it's a long step. It's like 5,000 points to 15,000 points. So basically, every time you write a review, you get a point. Every time you give a 5-star, you get a point. If you do photographs and you do multitude of photographs, that's where your points can start to stack up, but it does take a long time. But here's what I do. Any place that I go that I like, I write a review. And everybody goes, well, what about the places that you don't like? Well, they don't get a review from me, and I'm not going to say anything negative either, because I listened to my mom when I was little. She said, if you had nothing good to say, don't say it at all, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the bad places, bad experiences, they just don't get anything from me. The great places, I'm gonna heap praise on those places. I'm gonna tell everybody, this is amazing. You guys need to go here. And one of the things that I'll do is, and I think we talked about this last time, and refresh my memory if we didn't, I watermark all of my photographs. I watermark every single photograph that I put on my Google Business Profile page, but I watermark all my photographs that I take of all these other businesses. So when I go out and I write a review, about this amazing place. They're going to get a write-up from me, but then they're going to get photographs of the place from me, but there's going to be a watermark on there that says michaeltritthart.com, real training, real designs, real results. So basically it's like Michael was here type bumper sticker.
Mhm.
I have not had one single business ever come back to me and go, hey, can you take that photograph down? That's not cool. They don't care. And the reason why they don't care is I'm saying something great about their business and I'm not overpowering the photograph. It's just a little, almost like a stamp at the bottom of each photograph, just kind of copywriting it, but also branding at the same time. So all the photographs that I've done, I've actually got my numbers pulled up right here and I can share my screen or I can just tell you guys, but I have done 545 reviews. In those 545 reviews, I've added 1,619 photographs and my brand has been seen for free over 10 million times.
Wow.
So anywhere I go, like again, we're down here in Panama City Beach, Florida. We went to the Yard Milkshake Bar, which if you've never been to the Yard Milkshake Bar, you go get a milkshake. It's insane. It's like a milkshake with a slice of pie on top of it. It's like the craziest thing you've ever seen in your life, right? I took a photograph of that 2 days ago. One of the photographs has already been seen 464 times just in 2 days. It's crazy. So it's,
okay.
So when I go to conferences, when I go in and I train at certain locations that have brought me out, I'm writing reviews, restaurants, I'm writing reviews. But here's my suggestion, my / challenge to all of you. Look into your database, look into all of the other business owners that are in your database that you've either, done a podcast with, or maybe I was a consumer of their business, or maybe I wasn't even a consumer of their business. I just know them as good people. I just know that they run a good business. Go out and write a review for them. That's one of the best things that you could do for your database is to give grace and give gratitude to everybody else, because it's going to come back to you 10x.
Yeah. Okay. I love it. Give grace and gratitude. So let's take a step back.
Sure.
Because I'm sure some of our listeners are going to be like, that's an awesome idea. But let's break it down to I like simple. If it's not easy, we're not going to do it. So how do you walk us through how you add the watermark? Is it just on your phone?
So I do it on my phone. Yeah. So when I go out to like the Yard Milkshake Bar, I'm not watermarking while I'm on site. I'm just taking photographs. I'm enjoying the time, just like what everybody else would do. Right. Then on my downtime, when we're just kind of sitting around, goofing around, whatever, instead of playing on the phone, that's when I go in and I do the watermarking. So I saved my watermark to my phone. I created it at canva.com, super easy site, just a rectangular shape watermark. Then this is going to sound strange. On my phone, I saved a blank white photo.
Okay.
I was like, what? Think of it as your green screen, right? So I have a logo saved. I have a blank white photograph saved. Then I downloaded an app to my phone, and this is for Apple. This is for Droid, works everywhere. And this is called EZYwatermark.com. 3 letters, EZYwatermark.com. They have a light version. They have a pro version. Get the pro. Pro is going to, I think it's like $4 or $5, depending on if you're Droid or Apple. It's a one-time fee. And then you go into the app. There's an option in there to create templates. And the app will say, okay, great. What is your template background photograph? Oh, it's a blank white photograph. Perfect. Where's your logo? Pull that from your phone. Where would you like to place the logo? Do you want it at the bottom? Sure, bottom's fine. What do you want to call it? Logo bottom. Okay, done, saved, right? And then you'll have that template saved within the app. And let's say you go out and take 10, 15, 30 photographs, whatever it is, then you can just pull all those photographs into the app, watermark them in mass. That's the pro version, is it gives you the batch watermarking, which is amazing. So for instance, my son, he goes out and does his mobile car detail. He takes the before and after photographs. My job is to not get out in the heat. That's his job. My job is to take the 40 photographs he sends me watermark them and load them into his Google page. And that whole process, because I've done it a lot, I'm very used to it, but that whole process will take me about 4 minutes or less to get them watermarked and loaded.
I knew you had a system.
Oh yeah, I'm all about systems.
Let me make sure I understand. So you're also watermarking your own so like your son's own photos are being watermarked with his logo
Yes.
on his Google page.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Can
Well,
if it helps, I can share my screen and I can kind of show everyone what we're talking about.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Because here's the thing. I'm going to ask Trisha to help me with this. And so
yeah, this is more not for Ursula, but like, hey, Trisha, you got this? Yeah.
this is a team effort, Michael.
Hey, I'm with you.
And I mean, some of these things, of course, I can do myself, but some of it, like for pure volume, this is the next thing, by the way, for everyone who's listening. I've been working with Michael and Jeff. We've been working with them for a while. And so we're doing a lot of the things already. Like we're doing now 20 blog posts a month. We're doing 2 to 4 press releases a month. We're doing the back end, the front end, like all these things. Got our Google page set up. But this is where we haven't made it happen yet. Oh, you need to be able to share your screen.
Yes.
Right? So let me give you that. I'm like, Michael, I could feel your thoughts. You're like, Ursula, make me a co-host. Here we go.
There we go. All right, hold on. So if you go out to jetcardetail.com, what we actually did, and this was kind of a test as well in and of itself. My son doesn't have a website. He bought a domain name from Google. Okay. We forwarded that over to his Google business profile page. That whole process took us maybe 2 minutes and $12 total. And he runs his whole business off of Google business profile. And so you can come over here and you can look at all of his photographs and all of his videos, but you can see these are all photographs that I've watermarked for him.
Yeah.
So he runs his business that way.
I love it. Why hasn't he spoken at Connect yet?
I know he needs to. He's usually at school though. He's still in college at that time.
I want my son to hear him. Something. Luke was only 8, but he's got his cat sitting business. We're growing that. So.
Well, there you go. There you go. And this all started one day when he was like cleaning his car outside, and somebody walked by, an older lady, and she said it a couple different times. She's like, I ought to hire you to clean my car. You're out here cleaning your car all the time, and it looks amazing. And the light bulb just goes off. He's like, I love what I do. I know what I'm doing. I learned it all from YouTube. Maybe I should turn this into a business. And off he ran. So here's easywatermark.com. Okay. And you can download the app. And as we were mentioning just a second ago, you can batch watermark, which is the part that I love the most, because I can do tons of photographs all at once. And also within the system, if you want to put a QR code on there, you can put a QR code on as well too, which is really nice. And then the local guides aspect. So if I come over here and I say, well, I want to become a local guide, and then I go to where it says Google Maps, you can see right here, 1,600 plus photographs, 10 million. Here's the yard. I'm not lying when I say these milkshakes are insane, right? Give it a second for it to load here. Maybe it'll load, maybe it won't. Internet's being a little slow, but you can see them over here on the left.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can see. How many photos do you tend to load per visit?
So it just kind of depends on where I'm at. If we go in and it's a fun place and we're taking tons of photographs, then sometimes I'll put in 10 to 20 to 30 per shot. But on average, I'm doing about 4 to 5.
Yeah.
Some places just 1, if it's just like, hey, it was a cool place and that was it type stuff. What's crazy about this, I've got 10 million views plus. One of those photographs have been seen over 6 million times. And it's a photograph of a New Jersey delicatessen, just old school Jersey deli area. Got the sign out front. And I took a photograph, of course, put michaeltritthart.com beneath the sign. It's been seen over 6 million times. And I always ask myself, why that photograph? I have no earthly idea. But then I always think back, how much has that helped that deli?
That's what I want to know. I was going to ask, have you talked to them about it?
I have not talked to them, but some of the times when you write these reviews, the owners will respond because they always get the reviews, just like how you would get a review. And so I'll get a lot of great responses from the owners. I have not heard from them, but I'm just curious as to what that would be, what that impact has been on their business. I mean, it can't hurt. 6 million times definitely can't hurt.
Right. And for someone to even end up there, they're looking for that, right? They're looking
Exactly.
for something.
Exactly. And it's crazy too. Like, you know, some of these photographs you'll see maybe one or like here's an example. Pretty good place that we ate at last week in Fort Worth. It's been viewed 16 times, 17 times, and this one over 2,000 times. It's just, you know, that's the geeky part of me, just wondering what triggers Google, what makes Google think that photograph is better
than the food,
than the other stuff. That's the stuff I'm interested in.
Doing all of this, like, what have you seen come back to you? I mean, there's probably not a way to really measure, but
there's not, I mean, I can't say that they've all come back and said, hey, Michael, thanks for the review. We'd like to hire you to do this, right?
Right.
But there's one place, excuse me, that I've reviewed in the past called Apex in McKinney. And it's a workout facility. It's like an indoor, outdoor water park. It's insane, right? It's all funded by the city, so it's fairly cheap.
Oh, cool.
And I'm a local guide, right? And here's another benefit of being a local guide. Local guides get put toward the top. So we're preferred treatment, right?
Yep.
And when I add in my photographs, and I add in my photographs that have my brand on it, I'll be at the gym, I'll be working out, and somebody be like, hey, you know, we're talking, hey, what's your name? And I'll say Michael Tritthart. And they go, I know you. How do I know you? Are you on the board of directors here? Are you an advertiser here at the Apex? Like, they've seen this.
Right.
But they don't know where they've seen it. So I always tell people in my training sessions, it's like seeing a green swoosh on a shoe. What is it? Well, it's Nike. Well, what if it's blue? It's Nike. Doesn't matter, right? They see the brand, and the brand imprints on them. And so I always tell everybody, start local, right? Review the places around you, like Apex, like the restaurants, like all the people in your database, and then expand. When you're on vacation in Florida, write the reviews, become that expert. Because you can also go out and do some really cool things with this. And let's geek out for a second.
Okay.
One of my mastery members sent this to me. I had not heard about it. She's like, hey, have you heard about nanowhat.com? And what you can do here is you can go out and you can use any of the maps that they've created, or you can create your own map and actually sell it if you wanted to. So for instance, if I come over and I say, let's do a search for Venice, destination Venice. We all want to go. We all want to have a map. I don't know if I've been to Venice. Have you ever been to Venice?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an amazing place, right? You can get lost in Venice pretty easily because all the streets look the same, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I could come over here and I could download this map, this 4-day itinerary plan that'll show me everything that I need to do in Venice and have a great time. I can download this map for $10. And what it is, it's a Google map that somebody's put together. And I could do the same thing. I could create my own map. Like I challenged some people in Texas. I said, create the top 20 Texas barbecue joints map, because I want that one, right? And everybody would pay for that and go and travel Texas and eat barbecue. But I was looking at this, and we have our place here in Panama City Beach. And let's see if I can get it to pull up here. I think I got to type it in a certain way here. Hold on. Let's try. Man, I might have to put beach. I'll just do it this way because I already have it downloaded. If I go out to our condo, what I did is I took the map that was already created for Panama City Beach, 11 off the beaten path gyms in Panama City Beach. I took this map, downloaded it, which whoever created it for free. It was a free download. I'm like, great, okay. And I added this to our map, or excuse me, to our website for content, for SEO content. I didn't have to create it. I just downloaded it. So you can go out to places like NanoWhat and you can download these free maps. You can create your own map. You can buy a map. You can use it for content for your businesses, for your investment properties, for pretty much anything you want. Because the mapping system itself, local guide is just one attribute. The,
Yeah.
the whole concept of Google runs off the mapping system. Even Google Business Profile can fall into that category. So we always tell everybody that the maps of Google, that is the true power. That is the true power of your business. Prime example of this, if I come over and I go to Google and I do a search for Austin taco maps, which sounds crazy, 18 million plus search results. When Google My Maps first came out years ago, and when I say years ago, probably like 12 years ago, 13 years ago, I was teaching a class in Austin, Texas. And we had like 150 business owners in the room, and we had real estate agents and others. And I asked, hey, is there anybody in here that has created a My Map for their business? And lady raised her hand, Julie Nelson, still remember the name, great lady. And she goes, oh yeah, I've created a map. I said, great, what'd you create? She goes, Austin Taco Maps. And I go, whoa, time out. I thought you're a real estate agent. She goes, I am. And so we do the same search. She was number one 12 years ago. She's number one 12 years later,
Wow.
still to this day. And here's her map. And the reason why she did a map about the taco joints in Austin, she's trying to sell houses in the Barton Creek area right here where I'm moving the mouse around.
Yep.
And she can't sell a house in that area, even though everybody comes in and goes, love the view, love the price, love this neighborhood, love this house. We just can't live here. And multiple buyers telling her that. And she's like, why? And they go, well, we can't walk to Torchy's Tacos. And if we can't walk to Torchy's, it's a deal breaker, right? And that's Austin keeping it weird, number one. But that's also people have transactions based on life's amenities, especially within the real estate world, right? And it's not always about tacos. It's about, hey, we want to be by the water. We need to be by medical. We need to be here in the school district. We need to be there. We need to be where we want to be. And so she created this map, and she had some fun with it too. She's got her slogan on here, tacos first, real estate second type situation, right? But I do the same thing. I did the same thing for my Beach Bliss page. I had my website design team put this page together for my condo. You know, the property manager, they do their thing. And I told them, I said, hey, I run a website design company, and we specialize in Google, and I'm going to go out and create my own page and help to promote and get people to rent the place. And the property manager goes, we've never had any of our owners tell us that. And they go, that's awesome. Yeah, by all means, go for it. And so what I did is I actually created a map, an amenity map of, hey, here's our condo and here's all the things around it.
Cool.
Right? So people can go and see what it's all about. Well, this map in just a couple months, let me pull the numbers up on it, has been viewed almost 2,000 times and can be shared, and others can go and look at it. And we've got the link, of course, back to our condo. So that's the cool thing about the maps, is you can backlink these back to any website that you want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say that you're not talking about amenities, but you just wanted to go in and say, we've done X amount of transactions here, there, everywhere. Like, we're experts in our field. And both of us have done international training, right? And so I tell everybody I'm an international technology instructor. And so people are like, are you, are you really, they want to call your bluff sometimes. And so I'll say, yeah, actually I am. Here's a map of all of the places that I've trained since 2008. And I can pull the red ones off and then show them everything else that I've done. And I have this whole menu system that I can put in there, and people are like, oh, wow, okay, that's pretty cool. And so this could be your transactions. This could be whatever you want that to signify on that map. So the true, Google Business Profile, very powerful, but like the ultimate Google behind the curtain, just the true source of power, it's their mapping system. And if you tap into that with local guides, Google Business Profile, and creating Google custom maps, then you really have figured it out.
So, okay, question about the local guides.
Sure.
you're in Texas, like you're based in Texas, but now you're in Panama. Do you have to set up separate guides, or are you
One guide. Yeah, one guide. And I can go out and I can write reviews anywhere that I'm at.
Got it.
So when I go to Venice and I write a review, that counts. And basically that just kind of feeds into your overall point system, but it also kind of feeds into that concept that we were talking about with Nano What, which is where you can go out and create custom maps. Like, I'll give you a prime example of that. 2 years ago, my family took a spring break trip and we flew from Dallas to Vegas for a couple of days, to Utah, snowmobiled, which was amazing. And then we basically just made this huge horseshoe. We went through Bryce Canyon, Zion, Grand Canyon, ended up back in Phoenix. That whole trip, we didn't plan that one. We saw one of our friends do the exact same trip, and my wife called her and goes, "Can we have your itinerary? Can we just do that? Because that looked like it was a blast." And she's like, "Yeah, absolutely." And we kind of joked, we're like, "Man, you should be like a tour guide. You should go out and sell this whole thing," because we had somebody else go out and do the same trip and have a blast. And now with Nano What, she could do that. She could go out and put stuff like that together and give it away for free, sell it for a couple bucks. I mean, you're not going to get rich off of it, but it's going to be a value add that you can constantly bring to people.
Right. Wow. Okay. I have 2 pages of notes, so I think we better complete. And again, I know this is one people will probably listen to over and over and get some notes and get these things down. And for those of you who haven't gone back and listened or haven't heard my first interview with Michael, I highly recommend that. So Michael, thank you so much for coming back. I know you have a package, a special package you put together for our listeners. So
Sure.
It'd be great if you could tell us about that.
Yeah, so what it is, and I'm showing you here on the screen for those who will watch on YouTube, but basically my design team has put together a widget that can be added to a multitude of websites, sites that we put together, sites that you already have. We've added one to Ursula's site, but basically on the left-hand side, it's a map. And in this case, it's a real estate team out of New Orleans, more specifically the North Shore. And they have a map of all the properties that they've sold on the North Shore. So before they even go out for a pre-listing appointment or anything else like that, they're going to send this and say, "Hey, we're North Shore experts. All you got to do is see the map, see all the closed transactions." This could be training gigs. I had somebody do this for Vancouver, BC, and it was all the home warranty transactions that they had. And they were shocked because they go, "Oh my gosh, the whole valley has just filled in with these bubbles." They go, "We have this list and it just doesn't really resonate when you see it on a list, but when you see it as bubbles, that's when you're like, oh my gosh, that's pretty powerful." And so we have that aspect of the widget. Then on the right-hand side, once we get to the end of the transactional time with the client, and we ask for a review, all we got to do is send them the same link. And they can go out, the consumer, and choose, in this case, either Google, Facebook, or Zillow. But we have like 30 different ones that we can drop in there. Yelp is one of them. Airbnb is one of them. So if you have, if you're going to do this for an investment property, VRBO, they can go out and write reviews. So we just tell the consumer, "Hey, choose the one that you prefer. Water follows the path of least resistance. Pick Google, Facebook, or Zillow, your choice." They write the review. When they write the review here, this widget will total it up. And so in this case, they only have technically 21 Google reviews, but because of all of the other reviews, the widget is counting it as 25, and it will index to Google at 25 reviews. So this is how you start to power up your Google reviews. And my team put this together. Jordan on my team is like a little mad scientist working in the lab, always putting stuff together. And he came to me last week. He's like, "Hey, what if we added 4 or 5 more things to this page in the upcoming months, and we just not charge everybody? We just keep it at the same price." We just continually add more value. And I'm like, I'm all for it. And so that's kind of the mindset of giving back and making sure that the clients are happy and always have something of value to their page. So this widget right now is available on my site. If you got to michaeltritthart.com services, and Ursula has the link, she'll add that out there for you guys. But the Google Map and Review bundle. It's a one-time fee of $2.99 and then $30 a month. The $30 a month, we will go in. If you send us your updates to your map, either monthly or quarterly, we will go in and manage your map for you. You never have to jack with it, never have to mess with it. And then we also handle all the security updates, all of the plugins that need to happen. Basically, all you got to do is promote it, like have people see the map, have people write your reviews. We'll handle the rest of it behind the scenes. And then we're going to be adding more content to that page as well too.
That's phenomenal. Thank you.
Absolutely.
That is a ton of value. I love how it aggregates or pulls all the reviews together for Google. It's powerful.
That was the cool part too, is we didn't realize it was going to index until we got into the lab, started working on it. And they're like, oh, wow, this is like one of the best parts of the whole thing. You know, the things you discover when you're creating new items.
Yes. Awesome. All right. Yes, we will. So that'll be in the show notes. So you can get the Google Map and Review widget bundle from Michael. So Michael, thanks again for sharing that. We'll make it really easy for people to find.
Sure.
And thanks again for just all the tips today. It's great to have you back. I'm sure we'll have you back again to keep us updated as the world turns and as things shift in the world of Google. Final words for our listeners out there.
You know, I think the biggest thing with all of this, we talked about a lot of different elements today. Just take one step. And if that step is Google Business Profile, that's fine. If it's local guides, the map, don't get overwhelmed by the process. And quite honestly, you can have a lot of fun doing this, especially when you go out and write the reviews and take the photographs. It's very much like what you do on Instagram, but in this case, you're actually kind of giving back to the consumer. So just take that one step, whichever one resonates the most with you, and you know, master that one, then move to the next one.
Sounds good. Great advice. And that's what we've done, one step at a time. So Michael, thank you to you and Jeff and your entire team for all of your support. And we wish you guys all the best.
All right. Thank you.
And thank you to our listeners all over the world. If there's anything we can do for you, please, you can email us at contact@ursulainc.co. If you haven't yet, go to my website, ursulainc.co, and there's a free course for you, Quantum Revenue Expansion. It pairs really well with the podcast. And so it's 3 hours of training to help you up-level your business. That's it for everybody. That's it this week, everybody. Have a great week, and we'll see you back here next week. Bye for now.
Thank you for joining us today. And if you are ready to make your next quantum leap, let's do it. Ursula invites you to join us at the 2X Intensive. Go to salescoachnow.com/apply. Don't forget to leave us a review on your favorite podcast app.